you need to grow up your skills first to have a good understanding of how game industry works. You need to have a good understanding of what you want to do, where you want to be involved into game industry, and focus your skills on building your skills on that specific part.
Hey, what's up, you people? It's Johanna, aka Jojo. I'm super excited today because we are here with Dadja Bassou. Dadja is a veteran of the African game development community based in Dakar, Senegal. In 2011, he was finalist of the Android development competition in sub-Saharan Africa with his game Buggy. Today, he's an experienced software and game development engineer consulting for various large corporations, local and international. So with no further ado, Dadja Bassou. Hi, Dadja.
Hi, Joanna. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you. Welcome on the show.
Thanks for inviting me.
You're very welcome. So let's just start with who is Dadja Bassou. Can you talk a little bit more about you, what you do, your journey in the gaming industry?
So my name is Dadja Bassou. I'm a Togolese and I do live in Senegal for something like 14 years, I guess now. So I'm a software engineer and game developer. From what I did from the time, I've been involved in software engineering because of games, because I did love games since I was a kid. So it was very important for me at the moment to understand how all these things work, because I needed to understand how it works, how to build the game, how to bring it up to the stage so that we can enjoy it something. So at that time, there wasn't a lot of things on the internet, and there wasn't a lot of stuff that you can have access to. Even internet was complicated to have here. So when I came to Dakar, I had the opportunity to meet some friends, to have internet, to have a lot of things that I can use. And I did use that to learn something. So I've been doing game development for a long time now, from scratch, and then switching to Unity, testing Unreal, and all this kind of game development things. So for what I've been doing, as you said before, I had the chance to participate to Android Developer Challenge in 2011 to test our skills and see if we can bring something to the world that we can enjoy. So we end up finalist of the Android Developer Challenge for sub-Saharan Africa. And then something like 2 years later, we did post another game that we built, which was involving the game name was iClean. It was involving managing waste and bringing out education to how to handle waste and all these things in 2013. And I've been working before that for Google for 1 year as a mobile developer, and then worked for a game company, a Canadian game company, which name is Beam Me Up Games. I did work on 2 games over there. We built a game that's name is Heatwave Man, Super Heatwave Man. And the second, we didn't bring it out because it's still on duty right now. What I did after that was to continue my scholarship, finish it. And then I've been working on all the structures, like Société Générale, where we did build 2 games for them. Those games are not for grand public, but it was for the corporation only. So they are using actually inside the corporation. So we did build 2 games for them, and we're working right now on building 2 new games for 2 society, French company right now, and another company which is located here.
So okay, that's great. So thank you very much. So how was your journey to where you are now? So you self-taught? Did you do computer science and then certify yourself directly in game development, because you've been started since 2011? So that's 10 years.
Yes, so I'm a self-taught firstly game developer, but I did had some scholarship work on some computer programming and software engineering. So this was like having those 2 critical elements aside that will help me have the skills I have today on that. So yes, I did taught a lot myself on building games here because we were more focusing here on building software engineering for corporation, and that's all. So not especially building games because this was not relevant at the time, and even now it's still not relevant for many companies here to work onto that. So if you start doing games right now, you won't be able to go into a corporation because they don't need that requirement right now. So firstly, I taught myself how to develop games, and right now after that, I've been start doing somehow like a fight to let people understand what games can bring to them, what can be interesting for them, and all these things for now. So that's it for me.
Yeah. So the goal of the show is to showcase how attractive the gaming industry is and the success of the community members that are already part of the game development industry. And I would consider that you are someone successful. You are in Senegal and you have large corporations as customer. One of the things that I am curious about is how do you find those customers? How do you make yourself visible to have this type of contract?
So the thing that happened is that between 2015, I was also mainly active, and I still do. I was really active in communities here, talking about software engineering, programming, and game development. So my whole main presentation was concerning games, and as I was one of the first here, even the first to start talking about games, we'll be talking about that, and try to make people understand why games was important and why it was relevant. I think that helped a lot on the fact that companies now do trust me on somehow like to building those kind of games for them, having those contracts for them because of the time I've been spending on the things I've been doing before and all these things. So as I've been doing application that are online that people can test, can check it out, test it, and use it. They saw that we had somehow like the skills to build the thing. So it was mainly somehow easy for them to trust us, saying that we can do that. So I think this was mainly based on the fact that I had some background and I had something that I could showcase at that time. So it constructs somehow like a trust around there. And I would say I have some friends also that was around that had big companies also. And when it comes to games, they just delegated to Dadja, saying that Dadja can build that for you. So that was the main thing, that I can build that for you. So I will say this was how I've been landing on building things for those companies.
Okay. So it's a word of mouth, basically. So first of all, put yourself out there and network. So this is all the time that what I say to new people, how do I get in the gaming industry? Well, you improve your visibility and you network, or whatever comes first. So with this in mind, what type of advice would you give to someone that who is in Senegal or French-speaking Africa who wants to get into the gaming industry?
So my first advice for people who want to get involved into the game industry is to firstly understand what this means. People do think that coming to games because we used to play games, it's fun, it's easy and all these things. Building games are somehow easy. You can start just like that and build something, and that's it. You can start without any knowledge, without understanding how it works, and you start building something, bring it on, and worldwide be successful. It doesn't work like that. So what I want to say to people, what I'm trying to say every day to people is just that we need to grow up your skills first to have a good understanding of how game industry works. You need to have a good understanding of what you want to do, where you want to be involved into game industry, and focus your skills on building your skills on that specific part. Most of the time, we do think that being in the game industry is just like, I need to be a programmer to be able to go into the industry and all these things. But this is a lot of required things and required skills that it needs. You need a business developer, you need a marketer, you need a commercial, you need a game developer, you need a designer, you need 3D artist, you need architecture people, and all these things. So there's a lot of stuff that you can be doing So you can still be focusing on something you like and use it into games and get involved into games. So first thing is to grow up your skills. Try to network maximum, get involved in the game communities mostly, and build something. Try to build something. Not to make, when you're trying to build something on first, the most thing that you should be focusing on first place is not to make money from that. It's just like you're making something first because you want to understand. You want to build something that people can see, people can test, and people can give you feedbacks about that, how it works, what did works, what didn't work, and then you try to fix that. So it will take time, but on first place, when you try to build something, build it to have the understanding of the whole process of building a game, publishing online, and all these things. And after that, you can start saying, hey, I can do a business with that now. And by letting it online, if people do see that you've been doing this, they will trust you more and say, hey, I would like you to come and with me, work on this for me. I want to build this, help me build this, and all these things. So this is how it works for me. So my first advice is to grow up your skills, get involved in communities, build something to have the whole experience of how it works, and then build a strategy to move on and build your game. That's it.
Okay. So I know you said at the start that you are in Senegal. How do you see, in your opinion, the vibrant? What is currently the Senegal game development community, and how do you see it in 2-3 years time?
So game development community here is not huge. We're not a lot of people here who do build games, who did hard already game that they've been working on, a professional one that they've been publishing online. So, but there are some people who did some things, some great things actually here. Even if it's not well known outside and all these things, there are some people that did great things. And there are also people that did some things, maybe successful that we don't know. So that's interesting because I've been meeting someone like that on a platform because I just subscribed to a platform just to have some skills again. So just subscribe to a platform, and I saw that there was someone, a Senegalese inside there, that was learning games and all these things. We ended up getting connection onto LinkedIn and WhatsApp and all these things discussing now. So he's a self-taught developer also trying to build game, and he started building his game just like that. And I met another one who was Cameroonian who lived in South Africa just like that, who was building a game at the time and still trying to build a 3D game now. He's converting his 2D game to a 3D game now, building something. So the community here is not that huge, but there is some like people that do get interested in building games that are really interested. So what I've been liking a lot is that we had somehow like a game channel last year, and I met some people who were really good at being artists. They were artists. There was a lot of artists that can draw, that can animate things and all these things. And that was pretty much interesting. Even me didn't realize that we'd have somehow like people like that in here, because for a while we didn't have some events. We didn't build some events to gather people to talk together and all these things. And when we tried to bring it back, COVID comes and block everything. So it was somehow like a shutdown for the moment, where we are trying to get it up as soon as we can, so we can just start discussing about that, exchanging with people, because we have platforms like Zoom, like Clubhouse and Facebook meets, to meet up. So the community is growing here, and people are getting more interested. The problem here is that the most question people ask you is just that if I'm a game developer right now, will I have some? Where will I get some work? In which company will I be, and all these things. So this is a serious problem, because even me, I was asking myself that, but I wasn't focused only on building games. I wasn't interested in building mobile application as I'm a software engineer, and then I was building it so I was building application for mobile. I did realize that there was a market over there, so you can build your game, publish it onto there, and send it out so people can see it and like it and test it. So what I'm telling to people is just that you need, if you are learning games right now, the most important thing right now is to have the skills. You can build it aside of something that you can do. If you know, feeling confident of the fact that if you've been focusing only on game development, this won't bring you somewhere. I would say do the game development part and do something aside. That will help you improve that. In time, when it comes, you will use your skills over there. At the end of the day, you will be using that skills because right now, the relation we are getting here, the interest in game development we get here in Senegal is really growing. So I will not be somehow like surprised to see that in something like 3 to 5 years, we're going to have 2 or 3 enterprises which will be doing games. Because before that, there was 2 companies. I said we've been working for game industry, game company which named for Beam Up Games. Beam Up Games was just a Canadian company, right? But they did try to open their offices here in Senegal.
Okay. Okay.
You see, so this is that is why we built the the Ibwave game I told you about a few time ago. So after that, they shut down the offices here because there wasn't a lot of people that can
Traction.
move. Yeah, there was a lot of traction here, but it wasn't because we didn't have the skills. It was mainly because here, yes, you guys have the skills. You guys are good. This is not growing things here. We have the same problem when it comes into programming expertise and all these things. Microsoft did try and Google did try to open their offices here for programmers, but they said that there wasn't enough programmers that was finishing their scholarship that you can get absolutely into the enterprises to work with. That was why mainly they didn't have their offices here because it wasn't relevant to open an office and have to hire something like 5 engineers or 10 engineers a year. That wasn't relevant. So you had a lot of things just like that. But right now we got internet, we got a lot of things, and even me, I'm getting some like discussion on LinkedIn and on all the social network for professional. What we do use to discuss about games. I just said that I was working for a French company right now, and we were trying to build a game. Right? I'm not shouting everywhere outside, but that's the case. And they did find me just because of the fact that they know that I've been building something. And they was interested on working with someone who do live in Africa because they needed to not have only the skills, but the experience around your space because we need to build something that could bring Africa to another level and something. So just because of that, I would say there are opportunities that are coming also. So for only that reason, you should be prepared for that instead of waiting for the opportunities to come on and you don't have the skills for that. So I would say you shouldn't be afraid of learning something and getting your skills in there. We saw recently that Unity jobs are growing right now. So which means that there is a lot of need for Unity software engineers. And that's not just Unity. We can talk about Unreal and all this thing. Game development in general is already growing right now. So this is the time where you guys will get involved in that, have access to the information, learn your skills, because there are big things that are coming. So we better be ready for that instead of waiting for it to come and say, okay, now we should learn something because we will lose time. So that's it for me.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dadja. In the same time, so you have given some advice to people who wanted to enter the game development industry.
Yeah.
What type of advice, in your opinion, would you give to any investors or people that really looking for new content, diversity of content, or diversity of human capital as well? How can they get in touch with the larger community? When for example, Dadja is a 150% book, what is the best way to get in touch with the gaming industry in Senegal?
So for me, the best way to get in touch with the gaming industry and the gaming community, especially here in Senegal, is to go to those person who've been actively working and trying to bring games at a level where people can understand what it is, because they know what it is. I'm not saying just for me especially, but I got some friends who did work a lot to bring games at the level what it is right now. So they should come to us, and then we should discuss and all these things. Not especially for us to have the investment and all these things, no, but to understand how the things works here, and how if you want to invest, where is it relevant to invest, and how they should invest, and also into game industry here. They should come also and see how things works. For me, that's the two things I would say. So it is to find, the main thing for the investor for me is to find the real actors. Because if you didn't find the real actors, people just getting that because yes, there is some investment, so there's money. So we need the money, we need the money, we need the money. A lot of people shout, yeah, I'm interested in game development because game development is someone like the hype right now, and we want to get access to the money, and that's it. That's what's main focus. So you'll see a lot of people coming, hey, yes, I've been doing games for a lot of time because we mainly maybe join an event and all these things. He's been doing maybe elsewhere and come here and say, okay, I'm doing games. What do you have for me now? Yeah, I need money to make things happen and all these things. So they should find people that are really passionate about games, that want to bring things up, because that is those person that will bring it at a level where it should be here, and find the real more great 1% and good 1% to invest into. So so that's my advice here.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this insight, that was really informative. And do you have any last word for us today and for the viewers?
Last word. So for my special part here, I will talk about my faith, okay? What I do regret a lot here. So at the time I was learning games and all these things, the main thing I didn't do after trying to build the game and all these things was keep it somehow like try to build something and emulate a community, try to build other games for myself. You see, so I've been working on games that I've been building for companies, publishing it for them. They've been using it, it's working great. But I wanted to build something that could be worldwide, widely used by people here. And I didn't try myself on that because mainly I was someone like afraid. I was like, you have to handle the marketing side and all these things and all the things. So I was mainly trying to do the whole things by myself. Only me will just do the whole thing. So by doing that, I wasn't able really to bring something on that meantime. So my advice here with people is just that it is interesting and really good idea to say, hey, I will build something, and I did that. But it is better to go with people, gather yourself, build something great, and publish it online. Because I think everybody is trying to do something, not because there is a problem with other people, no, but because they are trying to do something on their side, because it's just like when you're talking about games or game development, they will see you like someone who's not clear of mind. You are losing your mind. You're doing something that's not well. So you will try to put yourself in some place where you should build something by yourself and all these things. So I would say all those people that are building games should come out so we can gather together, discuss together, and try to build something together. So that would be my advice for anyone who want to build games. Don't do that alone, because if you start doing it alone, at the moment you will be somehow discouraged on your path and all this. So you will need to have some people who will emulate that, because the community is there for that. If you're building something and other people are also building something, there will be like a challenge for you to keep on and working on your project and all these things. If you're doing it by yourself, because you're not finding the result and you're investing a lot of time on it, you will somehow at a time be discouraged and say, hey, finally I should let it out and go do something else. So that's my last advice for people here, if I have something to say about that.
Thank you very much, Dadja. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your advice. And really, thank you for keeping the Senegalese game development industry together. Thank you for that. So viewers, all the information to contact Dadja will be in the description box, and you will be able to see his work as well and get in touch with him by social media. Thank you for watching. This is Johanna, aka Jojo. Bye.
Bye-bye.